Happy Monday and welcome back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today on the podcast, fixing my business finances. I'm going to go through three phases of this step one in fixing my business finances. So you can say fixing your business finances if you like, but today we're focusing in on fixing my business finances. And when I say fixing it, I'm talking about once and for all. Once and for all, you know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly where it's going to come from. You understand exactly what you have to do. We're going to get 3 ideas today. 3 ideas in this step one. We got to get these 3 things. If we get these 3 things today, we'll at least say we have gotten through step one of fixing my business finances. So I'm going to welcome you back. It's Monday, and I'm talking about this year's going by so fast. 2024 is shaping up to be a year of years, and don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if some awesome and incredible things happen in your life. Also, don't be surprised if some hardships show up, if some situations and problems show up. Those problems are there so that we can overcome. So don't be dismayed. Don't put your head down. Just say to yourself, I can do it. I will do it. I must do it. All right, let's jump right in this. Fixing my business finances. So there's a lot of things that we can talk about today. Like we could get super tactical, but we're not gonna get tactical because actually that's not what we do here. We pretty much stay in the idea phase of it so that you can get in and get out. And so when I thought about last night, as I was kind of like thinking over, where I'm personally at and what I'm doing, what I'm preparing for, I said, let me get back to the basics. Let's get back to the basics and let's really get through this thing, once and for all. And so the first concept in understanding really how to fix my business finances is this first thing that I'm going to share with you: rejecting getting rich slow. Rejecting getting rich slow. I am 52 years old, young, 53 in a few months. So do I have 50 years do I have the same 53 years or 52 years to kind of like, oh, you know what, maybe if it all happens in the next 50 years, great. Not saying I couldn't live another 50 years. Do I really have that much time? No, I don't. So I have to reject the idea of the slow, it takes a long time in order for you to save up this amount of money. Absolutely, you're right. If I have to save, just save my way to $1 million, save my way to $10 million, yeah, that's gonna be a little challenging. That's gonna be very challenging. I want you to think of yourself today. What is a huge goal that you would like to accomplish? And I'm talking about money-wise, not anything else. What is a money goal that you would like to accomplish in the next, a few years? It's just that we have this idea that it takes a long time for things to get done. And I agree, because they say, oh, you should work for 40 years and then retire. And then what happens when we work for 40 years and retire? We work for 40 years and retire. Then what do we have? We got 40 years and we're still not rich. Most people are not going to be rich just working 40 years. So I have to reject the idea that it takes a long time for me to accomplish this idea of, being rich. Look, at the end of the day, I don't even want to be rich. To be honest, I want to be very rich. It says in Genesis, I think chapter 13, at the very beginning, after Abraham was called, it says, and Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Man, I'd love to follow behind the Father Abraham. I would like to follow behind Father Abraham. See, Father Abraham knew a little something about going for his dream, going after his vision. Once he got a glimpse of it, He says, I'm going and no one's going to stop me. My parents are not going to stop me. My friends are not going to stop me. My environment's not going to stop me. My city's not going to stop me. My state, my country. He says, I'm going to leave my country. I'm going to leave where I've grown up. I'm going to leave everything that is familiar because I think there is something bigger waiting for me. That was Abram. That was Abram. That was before he became Abraham. So his name was Abram. And Abram, once he left and went. Now, it doesn't tell us how many years, but if I'm reading the Bible and I want to at least insert, my esoteric understanding, man, it happened pretty fast. Abraham was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. So I'm positioning myself for that. So if I'm fixing my business finances, if I'm fixing my personal finances, I've got to reject any idea that it's going to take a long time for that to happen. That brings us to number two. Separating time from money. I was just listening to something as I was in the gym this morning, and the guy was somebody was being interviewed, and he was talking about things that have happened recently in the past year or so, and how people want to make more dollars per hour. How the unions, all the big unions, they had strikes in 2023, and they were striking because they said we need to be paid more per hour because we're giving all of our time, and then it's like, hey, well, you got the states and they're saying, okay, well, we got to allow for minimum wage to come up from used to be $7 an hour, $10 an hour, now $15 and $18 an hour, and when these companies are like, okay, sure, you're going to do that, but we're going to raise the prices. But when we think about it, when we think about time and money, what happens is it's just like the idea of rejecting to get rich slow. If we have to associate our money with time, then what happens is it's kind of like, if I know it's already taking me 8 hours to get paid a certain amount of money. That means that this week, when I only make $1,000, not me, I'm just saying this is the average American, who may be making $50,000 a year, $1,000 per week, and they're spending 8 to 10 hours every day. Could be 8 to 12 hours every day to make that $1,000 per week, which is probably around $25, about $25 an hour. So someone's making $25 an hour, and it's taking them a whole year to make $50,000. That means that when they start looking at the price of things, like they look at the price of a car, and the car costs $50,000, I'm like, man, that's a whole year of my time, but wow, but it's going to take me 6 years or 7 years to pay it off. When they start looking at house prices, I really want this nice house, but the house costs $500,000. That's 10 times my salary, man. How am I going to pay for that? So what happens is we start looking at, no, let's get even more serious. Let's go to the gas station. Let's go to the supermarket. Let's go to the grocery store and find at the supermarket. You look at the prices. We go to the mall and we look at the price of a pair of shoes. We look at the price of a suit, the price of a pair of pants, a blouse, spandex, whatever it is that you're going in to buy. Some perfume, some cologne. You're going in and you look at the price, and at first you say, "Man, that's expensive," because it takes a certain amount of time. Wow, this thing. It's going to cost me $30. I only make $25 an hour. It's cost me an hour of my time just to buy this one thing. Oh, let's get even more serious. Now, this is the part most people never think about. I'm going to bring the word taxes in. When we think about taxes, but you've never heard this, and I don't think that I'm not sure if I share this here on the podcast. I might have shared it once. I'm going to share it again. I may start sharing it all the time. You work for the IRS, you work for the government about 1/3 every year. So about 30 to 35% of your money. So think about it like this. The first 4 or 5 months, I would just say the first 4 months, almost 5 months, you are working for the government to pay taxes. What? Yeah, man. Unfortunately, of your whole life, you're going to spend a third of your life paying taxes. One third. So when we think about separating time from money, then I cannot, like, I don't no longer want to get paid hourly. I want to get paid based on a product, based on a value, based on something that gives someone an outcome that they'd be willing to pay a certain amount for, but I don't have to spend any time to deliver it. This goes against my whole, like the business that I'm in. And this is one of the things that I have to look at as I'm fixing my business finances, separating time from money, looking at ways, literally devising a system where it does not require me. It does not require my time. It requires somebody else's time, but it doesn't require my time, because it's kind of like if God did not create systems for things to grow, for things to create on its own, then God would be sitting around here constantly working on the same thing for the past, I don't know how many eons of years. But God knew. He says, I'm going to make this one time, and I ain't going to have to do nothing else with this. I can go on and do something else. So this is one of the biggest challenges in many businesses, is that time is an integral part of the money-making process. And because we have not separated the time from the money, we get stuck. Yes, I've been there. Stuck in the doing this, and we don't have anything. We don't have a way to get out so that our finances can be fixed, so that we can keep moving and growing the business. Like, there's some basic things that, when I look at some of the basic things that I've missed, I personally missed in being in business, like, man, if business is supposed to work like this, then why didn't I work it that way? I don't know. That would be the answer. I don't know. Like, I can come up with all kind of reasons, but I'm like, dang, this is kind of wild. So we got to separate time from money. So if I'm in this business, my first order of business is to create a way to deliver the thing that we have without us having to deliver the thing that we have, where it delivers itself. Because one, it takes time. Now, here's the thing. It takes time. We do have to invest time. We have to invest time in building and creating and really working through all the nuances of how that works. That's where we invest the time. We invest the time up front so that we can get our time back later on. So that's step number 2, separating time from money. And then the last thing, this is huge. This is huge because there's so many examples of why this last one is super important for all of us. And it's as simple as: you must get better. You must get better. You must get better. You must be better. Think about it like this. I'm a basketball player. And when I look at the greats, when I look at the people that are professionals, if LeBron James, if Michael Jordan, if Kobe Bryant, if any of these great players, if they didn't get better after year 1, you wouldn't know who they are anymore. They would have never made it. But because they realized they had to get better every single day, or else they would lose out. Well, because the way that the system of professional sports is built, every year we're bringing in new professionals. Every year there's a draft. There's the time when the teams have to retool. Every year we want to get better. And every year the team gets rid of and adds. Every year. There's not a year that a team doesn't get rid of somebody and bring somebody else in. I don't care how good your team is. Even the best teams, some people go, right? Because they look and say, well, we can probably go without them, bring somebody else in. Or this guy's getting older. I think we can do without the older guy. The older guy can stay if they're valuable. But here's the thing. If we just adopt We must get better. I 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 must get better. I've got to say that to myself. I got to get better. Like if I don't get better, then how am I going to make a difference? How am I going to make a difference if I don't get better? So adopting the mindset that it's me and it's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. Like something, it's not my mother, not my father, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of getting better. Not my sister, not my brother, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of getting better. It's me, it's me, it's me, standing in the need of getting better. I'm going to tell you, when I looked at these things this morning as I was coming on, what I realized is I got to get better. I have to get better at podcasting. I have to get better at delivering stories. I have to get better at helping people to see what's inside of them. I have to get literally to fix anything. And I would just say this now, to fix anything is to get better at it. Like we could have just talked about getting better. And how does one get better? And this is the last thing we're going to do before we get out of here. How does one get better? Here's how one gets better. One realizes what they need to get better at. That's the first thing. One realizes what they have to get better at, right? So then once you say, okay, I got to get better at this. Then it's like, well, okay, if I want to get better at this, what are 2, 3, 4 things I can do? A couple things I can do on a regular basis to practice getting better at this thing. So in sports, what do? I shoot layups. I shoot free throws. I'm talking about basketball. I shoot 3-pointers. I do, drills. I go to the gym. I have to get stronger. I have to do all sorts of things to get better. I've got to work on my body. I got to make sure my body is strong. And the thing about that is that that's a clue. Professional sports for me is a clue to get better. Says, wow, so every day. Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to work on this today. I'm going to have a getting better schedule. This is how I'm going to get better every day in this area. Now, I know I get better going to the gym. Like I've been getting better. I've gotten stronger. I've gotten stronger as a result of literally going to the gym. Like 500 push-ups a day has gotten easier than it was in January. Literally, it's easier today than it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Today, it's almost like clockwork. I tend to get the 500 push-ups done in the morning. Bam, it's over with. I don't have to come back to this. I used to be doing them all day. Now they're done in the morning. And I'm so much stronger as a result. So we're talking about business, want to get better. Man, I want to get better with the money. Like it's looking at, okay, how does money come in? Maybe I'll show something tomorrow. But yeah, so getting better is to identify the area that we're going to get better at, and then finding a few things that you have to do on a daily basis so that you can repeat these things over and over and over and over and over again. And as a result, by doing these things, you get better. So let's recap really quick as we jump off. First thing we got to do if we're going to fix our business finances is we're going to reject the idea of getting rich slow. And we have Abram to thank for that. Abram got very rich, and he got very rich fast. Then we're talking about separating time from money. We don't want to think about, oh my goodness, I want to make so much dollars an hour. No, if I want to make so much dollars an hour, let me first figure out how much money I would like to make, right? I'd like to make $1 million. If that's the case, then divide that same $1 million by the same amount of time. You come up with an hourly rate, but oh, wow, that's way better. And so I know that if I do have to think about an hour, then that hour is going to be this, right? So we want to separate time from money by investing time in. You may have to invest a lot of time. It's kind of like when we write a book. You invest all this time, but you don't have to go write the book again. So you invest the time up front, and then that's separating time from money. Writing a book, creating a course, that's separating time from money. So we got to do that. Then the last thing, which is really the big area, is getting better, is creating a regimen, creating things you got to do. Literally just talking about this on Friday with my partner. Creating a regimen of things you have to do on a daily basis, and just become pig-headed discipline with those things that I'm not going to stop. I'm always going to do them. Pig-headed discipline is what helps any person get better. And if you want to fix your business finances, these are 3 ideas that you can use to implement into your life, into your business, so that you can fix whatever area you would like to fix in your life, but especially your business. So this was step 1, fix your business finances. We'll come back tomorrow, talk more specifically about just getting better, the regimen, and what that could look like, because I'm going to share that with you, and really just take our lives and take our businesses to the next level. You ready? If you're ready, say, I'm ready. Let's go. So guys, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore. I'm the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Man, what an awesome and incredible day that we have. God bless you, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.